Hello, it's good to see you. Today we're going to discuss a little bit of hypothetical, theoretical neighborhood gossip that may or may not have happened somewhere in the vicinity of my neighborhood recently. But before we do that, I wanted to show you just really quickly, I wanted to show you a few things that I found at Goodwill this evening. It is $2 Tuesday. What they've started doing around here is at all the local Goodwill stores, if you live in this area, in the Greensboro area, on Tuesdays, they will pick one color tag. Each item will have a different color tag on it, the plastic little piece that holds the little label. They will pick one color, and everything with that color tag is only $2. It doesn't matter what it is. If it has that color tag on $2 Tuesday, it's only $2. I got a really great deal. I stopped by there this evening and I got a great deal on something. I want to show you a couple of things first, just really quickly. I found this cute little top. Now, this is not really, I mean, I might wear it, but it's not really my thing. I got this for Carol, the 40s gossipy lady's neighbor. I don't know, it just looked like something she might wear. And she may or may not show up at some point soon. And I found this. This is cool. It's a half zip long sleeve top, and it has Cheer World on it. And it also has this on the back as well, just in case I wanted to do a cheer mom kind of thing. The only problem is I have another shirt that I really like better than this, but when you find stuff like this, you have to grab it because it's probably not going to be there when you go back. And this shirt I just thought was really cool. Unfortunately, none of these had the right color tag, so they were regular price. But I have a preferred customer discount card, so I get 10% off everything regardless. And if you have that card, the $2 things they're also 10% off, so it would be $1.80 for whatever you find. Look at the cool colors in this top. This is so pretty. And it has gold in it. There's some gold thread woven throughout. This is just the grooviest top. I love this shirt. It's from 90, I don't know. I just thought it was really pretty. I like the green and the ivory and the tan and the brown and just the way the colors kind of fade in and out like that. And then the little hem along the bottom is pretty cool. It's just a long sleeve button down shirt. I just thought it was pretty. And speaking of tops, I got my new t-shirt. It's a 78 Corvette pace car, 25th anniversary edition. That's like my dream sports car that I would love to have. Actually, at the Greensboro Auto Auction last weekend, I didn't bid on it, but I knew about it. There was a pace car just like this that had never been driven. It had 0 miles on it. It was just like it would have been delivered to the dealership. It still had the paper on the floor. It had 0 miles on it. And it was a 78 pace car. I don't know what it went for, but I imagine it went for quite a bit. I wouldn't want that one anyway because I would never drive it. And plus, you know, I'm sure all the seals and everything are dried out. You would have to do some work to it before you could drive it anyway. So I want to get one eventually, but not till my kids are grown, more than likely. But let me show you the really good deal, and then we'll get into the gossip, the theoretical gossip. I got the best deal tonight at Goodwill. I had to show you. So for $2 Tuesday, $1.80 Tuesday for me, since I have a preferred customer card, I got this. This is a 3/4 length suede coat that I paid $1.80 for. It's so beautiful, and it has this faux plush, this black faux fur lining in the collar. It's from Gakka, I don't know that name, Gakka Gallery company. I don't know who they are, but I got this really cool, and it's long too. It's like a 3/4 length. It's going to come down just above your knees, basically. or right at your knees. It's hard to say. I tried it on and it fit. So, but yeah, $1.80 plus tax. I know it's July and I don't even want to think about wearing it now, but even if I just wear it one time and then donate it, I think I've gotten my money's worth out of it. It's fully lined and it buttons down the front. Here you can see it has the plastic buttons on it. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I thought that was a fabulous find for $1.80. Because it had the blue tag on it, and it doesn't matter even if it's a leather coat or whatever. If it has the right color tag on it on $2 Tuesday, it's $2 no matter what it is. So I got really lucky. I'm really glad I spotted that. Okay, I don't even know where to start with this gossip, theoretical gossip. I should probably start with my teacup. Look at this pretty thing. Comes with a little saucer. It doesn't have a name on it or anything, but it's absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Is that not the cutest little thing you ever saw? Look at that. I got this at the little thrift store that I took you to where we go and play with the hangers and look at stuff. I got this in there, the cup and the saucer for $1. Brought them home and washed them. They're beautiful. They're absolutely they're gorgeous. I don't know who made them. There's no name on either piece. But I have my cup and saucer. It's just adorable. I hope it's safe to drink out of. I guess I'll find out if I go insane or something. So, where do we start? Oh my goodness. It's been weird around here, theoretically. The reason I had to go somewhere this evening was because it was so loud around here. It could be that someone down the street rented one of those pods. If you know what the pods are, it's like a mobile storage facility. It has pods on it. You know, they come and deliver it. You fill it up, and when they're ready, they'll pick it up and take it wherever. Well, one of my neighbors allegedly had a pods thing in their driveway. And it had been there for a couple days. And I just happened to notice it, and I wondered if they were moving out or decluttering or whatever. I found out there's a lady who walks her dog. I have started tapping her for information, hypothetical information anyway. What's the deal with that? She said, well, let me tell you. All right, there's the neighbor down there. We'll say her name is Jane, okay? Jane is married to John. Well, John went away on business. And Jane apparently found out that he was not gone on business. He was gone to see somebody other than her. And she got mad, so she knew he was going to be gone for a little while. And she rented one of those pods thing and chucked all of his crap into the pods container and then changed the locks and everything. Well, John may or may not have come home today. And let's just say it didn't go well. He could not get in the house, and he ended up breaking a window. Theoretically, maybe broke a window and cut his hand really bad. And she called the police, and then an ambulance showed up. There was a lot of just mayhem on the street in general. And then they wanted to investigate the pods container. I don't know. There might have been something in there that was a cause for concern. I don't know. But the police were checking out the pods container. They had her open it up. I don't know what they found. But anyway, it was really crowded down the street earlier, theoretically. So I decided the best thing would be for the kids and me to, vacate the premises for a little while. So I'm like, let's go somewhere. Why? Let's just go somewhere, okay? Because Jane and John, before the police got there, may or may not have been out in the yard screaming at one another. absolute profanities. And she was throwing things at him and screaming at him. She'd run in the house and grab something else. So by the end of it, she just had a bunch of random crap laying around in her yard, like a stapler, and she threw a Swiffer at him, theoretically. So it's getting kind of loud. And when the first round of cops showed up, I said, "Yeah, let's go somewhere. Let's go. Come on, go get in the car." So we went to Rooms to Go because I'm trying to find a dresser. I have a dresser in my room that I don't like, and it looks bad. It's not made very well, and the drawers don't open right. You have to lift up and kind of hit the bottom to operate the drawers on this thing. It's a nightmare. So I just wanted to go see what other what options I had at Rooms to Go. I've been to a couple of different furniture stores around here. I can't quite find what I'm looking for dresser wise. Rooms to Go didn't have anything I wanted either. I just, the salesperson will ask you, "What are you looking for?" And I have to say, honestly, I don't know. I'm not going to know until I see it. I'll know my dresser when I see it. It's not in here. I'm sorry. They were really nice. They were not pushy at all. I was afraid they would be. So when we got done there, that didn't take very long. We walked around and looked at all the furniture and stuff, but then it was like, well, we haven't been here 20 minutes now. Still didn't want to go back because it may or may not have still been going on. I didn't know. So we went to Goodwill after that, and that's when I found my stuff. I don't think my kids found anything. I think it was just me that found stuff. So I'm still looking for a dresser. None of the furniture in my room matches, and I don't care. I don't get all hung up on that. I don't really care if it doesn't match, as long as it works. I'm just a very utilitarian type person when it comes to that. I don't really care, as long as it's functional. That's all that matters. So anyway, so we get back home. Okay, it's quiet down the street. The ambulance is gone. Cop cars are gone. I'm not sure how it all unfolded, but I do know that the dachshund lady was kind of hanging around in the area. I'm almost thinking about, like, maybe I should just put a bench out for her where she can just sit and collect this juicy stuff for me. I will have to ask her later what came of that. It's his home, so I don't know what the laws are. I don't know that she can lock him out. I really don't know. I think it depends on the circumstances, like if he's threatened her. Theoretically, I'm not really sure how it played out. It was all quiet down there by the time we got back. Theoretically, it was quiet. It was, it's been a really crazy day, honestly. Early this morning, and I found this out later, this was another cause of racket. This is why I couldn't make videos earlier today, theoretically. I found out, and I don't even know how this is possible. I don't even know why you would do this, but somebody stole a fire hydrant down the street. It wasn't the one that they repaired recently. You go on down the street, there are more fire hydrants. Somebody stole a fire hydrant and some guardrail, like along where the creek is. There's guardrail over the road. They stole the guardrail and a fire hydrant. I don't even know how you steal a fire hydrant without water going everywhere, but like if you have some plumbing background, maybe you know how to do something, or I don't know. But somebody stole our fire hydrant, theoretically. So they're looking for leads on that. They're looking at people's home surveillance camera footage to see if they can see any vehicles going by or any people walking by. I may or may not have to let them look at mine, because maybe they'll see, because I have several cameras in and around my house, and I have two that point out to the street, and you can see cars driving by, so maybe I can help them. I certainly want to help figure out who did that, because that's ridiculous. Like, I would hope that wherever they took it, if they're going to sell it for scrap, I just cannot imagine how heavy it had to be. People will steal anything around here. It's crazy. So there was a lot of hubbub over that, because then the city had to come and fix, put in a new fire hydrant. And there were several city trucks that just went up and down the road, and it was loud outside, and it was just, it was just constant. There were several city trucks that just kept going back and forth. I don't really know why, but it was really something. Okay. So that it's been noisy. It interfered with making videos earlier today. I couldn't do it. It was just these trucks have these squeaky brakes and they go up and down the road, and you can hear them. If I'm trying to make a video, it's in. I just decided not to worry about it. Over here, these people have been bothersome lately. Hypothetically, okay, so over here we have this guy. Now yesterday was the first time I ever saw him wear a shirt. Now they've been living over there for quite a while now. This guy over there won the lottery. I don't know how much he won. He keeps wanting to talk about it. Every time I'm outside, if he's home, he'll come waddling out there. He has this huge beer belly. Like I said, he's 47 months pregnant with like elephant twins. Sorry, had to let my cat Pumpkin out. She's been laid up on the bed listening to me. I think she just got sick of my story and had to. I was like, I'm out. Let me out of here. So I had to let her out. Okay, so yesterday he wore a shirt for the first time, which was kind of a shock. But the shirt was like 5 sizes too small, and it had Bocephus on it, like in big red letters. It said Bocephus, and it had a picture of what is his name? Hank Williams Jr. That's like his nickname. It's the stupidest nickname I ever heard of. I'm not a big country music fan. I do like Hank Williams Sr. There was some country music from the 60s that I grew up listening to that is, I'm okay with it, but other than that, I'm not a big fan of it. So he had on this Bocephus shirt. It was white and it had holes in it and it was thin. It was like super thin. And it had this big grotesque picture of Hank Williams Jr. on it. And because of his belly, it was like his face was pushed out. It was like a 3D picture of Hank Williams Jr.'s head or something. And his gut was hanging out from under the shirt. Like, here's the end of the shirt. And there's just all this gut here. And it was like a big pasty watermelon up under his shirt. And he came strutting out of his house. I was trying to mow the yard, theoretically. And he comes strutting out barefooted, just these ragged shorts. I mean, you would think it's a nice house, okay? He paid his nephew cash for this house. I don't understand why he can't dress any better than that, especially with his girlfriends there. You would think he would want to. Of course, I don't really think they're with him because he's a dapper dresser or anything like that. I don't really think that's their motivation for being here, theoretically. So he comes waddling out, and he always likes to try to find a reason to begin a conversation with you. He'll say something like, "Oh, your car looks nice. Did you just wash it?" He'll say something like that. And I'll say, no, I don't know. I washed it last weekend. And see, he will use that as an excuse to say, well, let me tell you about the car I just bought, and he just bought something. I don't remember. It was a car I'd never heard of before. It was, he said it's not here yet. It has to be prepared. Apparently they're building it for him, or it's not ready yet, theoretically. A Karma something. I don't remember. It was Karma something, because I remember thinking Karma. And I'm thinking Karma, lottery ticket. And then I'm off thinking about Earl Hickey and My Name is Earl. And I didn't really hear anything after that. And I said, well, got to get back to it. I got to move. So bye, And he left me alone. But that was the first time I had seen him wear a shirt. Unfortunately, the shirt was too little, so his gut still hangs out. Well, anyway. So I guess he's obtained a new car of some sort. I don't even know what it is. But anyway. That is the only reason he asked me about my car. He doesn't give two craps about my car. He just wanted a reason to talk about his new car. I would respect it a lot more if he would just walk up and say, hey, let me tell you about this new car I just bought. Okay, fine. It just seems kind of childish to do it the way he does it, hypothetically. But so I mentioned in another video that he has 2 girlfriends, right? And they have obtained this tiny dog. I think it's a dog. It almost looks like a little it's almost like a rodent, but I think it's a dog. It barks, you know. And I swear to you, this dog is like this big, and I don't think it's a puppy. I think it's a full-grown something. I don't know. It's very floofy. It has floofy long hair, and his name is Boots. This little dog is Boots. So he has these two girlfriends, theoretically, and they live there with him. And we'll call them Itchy and Scratchy. So Itchy and Scratchy live with we'll call him Joe, Uncle Joe over here. So Itchy and Scratchy live with Joe, and they have this new dog named Boots. It's like a doglet. It's like a theory of a dog, or like a diagram of a dog. I don't know. They have this tiny little dog named Boots, and it is the loudest little thing. It's one of these little yappy dogs. Now, I'm not talking bad about anybody's dog, but I don't like yappy dogs. I cannot stand dogs that just bark all the time at nothing. I just, it's quiet right now. Fortunately, they keep Boots in the house because they heard that there are coyotes in the area. A friendly neighbor may or may not have told them that it might be good to just never let the dog out because there are coyotes here. There legitimately are coyotes here. That's not theoretical. There are coyotes around here. And people's cats have been, well, they've disappeared. Whether they were eaten or not, I don't know. But there are coyotes in this area, and they will eat your animals. Which is why I don't let my cats go out. You know, no, not after it starts to get dark at all. They, in the middle of the day, sometimes Evie will, she just stays in the backyard, and then she comes back in for a little bit. Pumpkin never goes out. So yeah, a friendly neighbor might have told them it might be good to just not let Boots out. Plus, they've discovered, theoretically, Boots is so tiny. I don't know if it's a he or a she. Boots can squeeze through the fence slats, the fence posts or whatever. It's so little it can get through. I don't even know how that's possible. I mean, I have two small cats that can't even do that, but Boots can do that. Boots is about the size of my cats when they were kittens. Tiny thing. Well, the drama this afternoon interrupted things for them too. Itchy and Scratchy had set up an entire photo shoot, theoretically, in their backyard. I'm talking white gauze everywhere, flowing gauze, and they had this whole canopy of flowers set up. They had a photographer come to do a photo shoot of Boots with Itchy and Scratchy. So Itchy and Scratchy were dressed in these white gowns, and of course, you know, Joe had the Bocephus shirt on again today. So I guess he just has the one shirt. And he brings it out for special occasions like this, you know, when there's a photo shoot going on in the backyard. Theoretically, there's one thing I'm jealous of over there. He got, and I've always wanted one of these, he got one of those giant bird cage chairs. You know, it looks like a woven bird cage and has a seat and a cushion. You know, it hangs from you have the base with a hook, and it hangs and you can swing in it. I've always wanted one of those. He has one of the really nice big deluxe ones on their back patio. So so Joe's back there, kicked back in his little cage chair, swinging with one foot tucked up under him, and his cut-off shorts and his Bocephus shirt with his gut hanging out. He needs a separate swing just for the gut, hypothetically. So the photographer was here. They hired this photographer. And the photographer is saying, "You've got to tell that dog to shut up. I cannot stand a dog that just barks all the time." And I'm over here like, amen. I'm right with you. I'm right there with you on that. That dog is horrible. But then see, all the mayhem started theoretically down the street with the cops and the man screaming in his own front yard, banging on the door. Then he tried to break a window. He cut his hand all to pieces, took his shirt off, wrapped it up in his arm, and there's blood all over him. She's inside screaming. She calls the cops, and then the ambulance comes. Well, it ruined the photo shoot. Completely ruined it. So Itchy and Scratchy, they're crying. They were crying when we left. They were in the backyard just inconsolable. And Joe still kicked back on the porch saying, "Y'all need to just calm down. We can have him come back." And the photographer's like, "I'm not coming back. This place is a zoo. I'm never coming back here. And this dog is impossible. This dog is impossible. I can't work under these conditions. You can get somebody else." And I think they're trying to turn the dog into some kind of like little Instagram dog or something, because they had like extensions in its hair, like multicolored extensions on the ears, like hair down here, and little bejeweled things all in the extensions. And the tail had an extension with stuff in it, maybe, possibly. And they had this little tiny fainting couch thing that they were trying to get Boots to lay on, and Boots was having none of it. The Boots was like, I am not interested. Started chewing on it, and then it peed on it a little bit or something, because they were over there hollering about the fact that the dog peed on it. It was the most unnatural bunch of mess I ever saw in my life. This dog had no idea what was going on. I mean, it was so small. I don't even know how it can think a thought all the way through. Something that little, just, I mean, I don't know how you work with a dog that little. Well, all the sirens and the racket and the screaming probably didn't help the dog's nerves, so it was just torn up. So by the time I got back, everything is still set up in their backyard. It looks like they're going to have a tiny wedding out there. They had a little, remember the fairy garden we did? I did a video with the fairy garden. They had a little fairy garden set up for the dog. I mean, it was bigger than mine, obviously, but not much, because the dog is like this big. I could give them my fairy garden. The dog would probably fit in it. They had that set up, I guess, for other pictures. They had several different little scenes set up. They had like a fall scene with a scarecrow and a bale of hay. They were just going to, I don't know if they're trying to do a calendar or Christmas cards, or I don't know what they're doing with this poor little dog. I feel bad for the dog, honestly. But Joe wasn't letting any of this faze him. He didn't even want to go out and look. Now, Itchy and Scratchy came around the side of the house to go down the street to see what was going on. Now, I did see them stop the old lady with the dachshund to ask her what was going on. I didn't get to hear that, because that's when we were backing out of the driveway. So I will have to catch up with her, with the dachshund lady. I just get the impression that Itchy and Scratchy are not good at retaining information. The dachshund lady seems pretty smart. Like, I mean, I can ask her and believe what she says. So I am kind of curious to find out if the man, I want to know if he got his stuff back. I want to know if he got back in the house. I want to know what's going on with all that. I don't even know these people, but we'll call them Jane and John. So the pod thing is still there. I don't know if they took anything out of it. I don't even know what was in it. It could be body parts for all I know, hypothetically. I didn't even plan on doing a video on this tonight, but I wanted to get all this in before I forgot the details, the hypothetical details that may or may not be true. I have another development. Now, I don't mean any judgment by this, okay? I don't want anybody to get mad at me for saying this. I am not here to judge anyone's life circumstances, okay? I have had some weird life circumstances in my past, honestly. I've been in some weird situations. So I'm the last person to judge anybody. But I'm not on this street, but one street over, not far away. There may or may not be this dude. He looks like his name would be Brett or Trad or Tripp. We call him Tripp. Okay, so there's Tripp up the street with his polo shirt. It's always got the collar popped up, and so Tripp lives up the street, well, one street over. Tripp looks like he's probably in his late 20s, early 30s. Tripp wears lots of gold chains, and they come, it's like guys used to do in the 90s, where the gold chains would come up under, they would have it, make sure it showed with their collared shirt, make sure it was prominent. He wears something like that. And he looks like the type that go, hey girl, I've never actually talked to him, but he's outside a lot. That's how I know, because I have to go through there depending on where I'm heading. Theoretically, if I'm heading to a certain part, if I'm going to this side of town, I will come up and go past their house to get there. Sometimes I go that way. Sometimes I go that way. There are a bunch of ways you could go. So Tripp is outside a lot. And now he lives with his parents. They're either his mom and dad, or he has some really old roommates, okay? His roommates look they're about 60. A man and a woman. I'm sure they're perfectly fine. I'm sure Tripp is perfectly fine. And again, I am not here to judge. anybody living with their parents. I'm not saying us. I'm not. Just listen. Now, Tripp, about a year ago, obtained what I call a wing bike. And you may know what a wing bike is and you don't even realize it. Tripp got a wing bike. I don't like the wing bike. Now, before this, Tripp had just some nondescript car. I don't even know what it was. He's been living over there the whole time I've been here now. I've been here over 2 years. And one day, Tripp brought home a wing bike. And I call it that for this reason. It's a motorcycle, but it's like, you know what a crotch rocket is? You know, those loud, fast motorcycles that young guys have, and they go like 100 miles an hour down the interstate with nothing between them and the asphalt but like a tank top. Yeah, that. Well, it's like one of those, except it's one that's been souped up even more and had a bunch of custom stuff done to it. And it has, I don't even know what kind of motor it has, but it doesn't have your typical crotch rocket motor. It has a different motor. And here's what he does. Now, most of the time, he keeps it in the garage. They have this big garage. He keeps it in there. He will roll it out of the garage and park it in the driveway. I know this. My kids see it more than I do because they ride their bikes around the neighborhood and they've seen this dude. Okay, he will park it in the driveway and sit on it and take selfies, you know, sitting on the bike like this, you know, like that. And sometimes he will sit there. My older son told me about this theoretically. Said one time, he said, that guy up there he looks constipated. I said, what are you talking about? He said, he's sitting on his bike. He's just sitting on his motorcycle in his driveway like this. Like he's posing like for it to be a statue or something. He's just, and there's no one out there but him. I said, well, was he talking to somebody? He said, no, he was out there by himself, just posing on his bike. I said, really? I may or may not have been on my way to Harris Teeter one afternoon and went by there and he was doing something similar. So I totally believe that my son was telling the truth, theoretically. So he does that. He doesn't actually ride it very much. It is really rare that he takes it anywhere. What he does sometimes is he'll roll it out of the driveway, start it up, and here's why I call it a wing bike. It's the noise it makes when he revs it up. He goes, wing, 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 wing. And he'll do that for like 10 minutes. Wing, wing, wing. And then he'll put it back in the driveway and put it back in the garage and go back in the house. You can hear it loud. It's a loud motor. You can hear it here at my house inside with the doors and windows shut. I have had to stop or pause recording many videos because of that freaking wing bike, because it is so loud. If I don't, you will hear it in the video. You will hear the wing bike. Hypothetically, I don't like the wing bike because if he would just get on it, start it up, and go away, I would be fine with the wing bike. But 90% of the time he doesn't. He gets it out, starts it up, revs it for a while, and then puts it away and goes back in the house. Now you could say, well, Mary, there are a million reasons why he could be living there. And you're right. You are totally right. Look, I don't know the circumstances. I don't know the situation. But I will tell you what happened this week. That boy has obtained a Tesla. So he now has a Tesla sedan and a wing bike. He still has the wing bike because he got it out yesterday. Was it yesterday evening? It was theoretically before the hydrant was stolen. So I think it was it yesterday? Yesterday or the day before he got it out and was out there revving it. So he now has a Tesla as well. Now it could be that he's living there taking care of his parents, although they seem to be more able-bodied than he is. They're always on the go. They're very active. They power walk around here all the time. They're always going and doing. And I'm not one to judge, but I just think whatever you want to pay for a Tesla would have been a nice down payment on a house. But again, no judgment. I don't know why he's there. He may be legitimately there helping them pay for stuff or do stuff. I have no idea. Maybe they're holding him hostage. I don't have any. Maybe they got dirt on him and they won't let him leave. I don't know. I just find it kind of strange. Like a Tesla, really? My God. So it's nice and peaceful right now. I am so grateful for the quiet. The peace and quiet is so nice. All I can hear are a few crickets or tree frogs or something outside. It's very peaceful. But if the dog photo session starts up again, it's probably not going to be quiet. I just hope I'm not here while it's going on, theoretically, because I can't make a video with a dog yapping and itchy and scratchy, screeching at it to stop, which seems to make it worse. It's a vicious cycle. And they have these voices that just grate. You know, I don't know where they're from. They're not from here. They do not sound like people here. I don't know where they came from. Outer space or something. They are not from here. Isn't that pretty? That is such a cool little cup. I love it. That is about all I know about the neighborhood for now, theoretically. It's been interesting. So I didn't really get much done today video-wise. I think the only video I made today was at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, in between one round of drama and the second round of drama. Yeah, the incident with the ambulance and the cops was after I finished that. So, and that's when we went to Rooms to Go and Goodwill. So it's all nice and peaceful for now. But anyway, I wanted to update you on all that before I forgot everything, hypothetically, that may or may not have happened here. And I hope that you enjoyed seeing my little cup and saucer. I'm very proud of these. I thought that was a nice find. And this is all they had. They didn't have a set of these or anything, just one saucer and the one cup for $1. And I am not one to normally buy stuff like that, but this one just really spoke to me. I said, I have to have that. That is so pretty. It's very nice. I like it. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you have a great day. And I'll see you again really soon.